This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Pacific Medical Centers.
Welcome back. As students head back to school, it's important they stay healthy to make the best of the school year, and one way to do that is to make sure their immunizations are up to date. Here with more on that is Dr. Ari Gilmore from Pacific Medical Center. It's good to have you here.
Thanks for
How are
having
you?
me.
Pacific Medical, I should say. Excuse me. So what are the common ages for the immunizations that are required by school?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, the immunizations, we really like to see them get going even before kids are considering school. The major series even start shortly after birth. But certainly we have the set that we think of as the pre-kindergarten ones, and those are supposed to be done at about 4 years of age, about a year before kids are getting into real big groups of kids at school.
We often, when we do segments like this, hear from people who don't believe in immunizations or want to opt out for various reasons. First of all, how do you approach that if you're one of those parents, and what's your response?
Well, number one, we really believe in them. There's no evidence that immunizations cause any significant long-term medical issues. At the same time, we open up a conversation and try and explore why parents might be resistant, talk about maybe an alternative schedule that will end up protecting the kid, maybe addressing some of the concerns a parent might have.
Okay. What are some of the different immunizations that you think are more important if kids are very active, if they're playing sports, if they're going to be in large groups of kids together on the bus, in the locker room, etc.?
For our teenage kids, we really want them to get something called the Meningococcal vaccine. That's one that isn't necessarily required for entrance into schools, but is certainly something we see when kids are in close quarters on school buses. And then it is required by many colleges when children are getting ready to go off and live in dorms.
Are we still worried about MRSA infections?
We are. So any kid who has a sore that's not healing should get seen by their doctor, abstain from sports till it's been checked out. Someday maybe we'll have an immunization for that. Okay,
well, let's hope. So in addition to getting immunizations, are there other shots or other approaches parents need to kind of be on the lookout for their kids or for themselves, actually?
I mean, for staying healthy.
Yeah, for staying healthy in general.
You know, we're just starting to see in our clinic kids coming in with their first back-to-school colds, runny noses, little sore throats.
Standard procedure.
Yeah, so getting plenty of sleep, washing hands, especially as kids get home from school. They should do a little hand wash or face wash.
Just hose them off on the porch before they come in.
Talk to them about not sharing their water bottles with friends, those sort of things.
And that seems to change, like middle school, suddenly everybody's touching everybody.
Really, there is a lot of that. Yeah, kids are changing, you know, hats and shirts and all their gear, headphones, all that stuff.
So what about whooping cough and what we should be doing not only for kids, but if we are around babies or older people, what's our responsibility?
Right, that's
or what
one that
can help us?
we don't hear as much when people talk about the controversy of immunizations, but is really important, especially here on the West Coast. The immunity wanes over time, and so adults tend to be the reservoir that can get children sick, and babies under 1, even though they're getting their series, haven't developed good immunity, and they can get severely ill or die. And there's been an increase in that younger age group in Washington over the past few years.
So if I were a new grandparent, I'm not, I wish I were, but if I were, then I might want to pursue this.
We'd like to have you go in and
get
your Tdap shot. And we're seeing all the time, I had a family the other day, asked them if they're up to date, and they said, oh yeah, my sister had her new baby. They wouldn't let me touch the baby till I got my Tdap. So we were thumbs up on that one.
Yeah, there are some parents who are pretty, you know, make some boundaries around that, and I can definitely understand that. So flu shots, is it important to get them or not, and if so, for whom is it most important?
Right, well, we're really trying to do well by everybody, so even people in lower risk groups, kind of teens and early adults, by getting their immunization, they're reducing the risk of those more fragile populations, the younger kids and older adults, from getting influenza, which is a major concern. Each year, thousands of people die from flu in those groups. And so you're protecting those people as well when you get your flu shot.
I've seen more about the shingles vaccination as well. What age group is this appropriate for?
Yeah, that's a great new vaccine. So it's been given to children, so they're not going to have to deal with shingles when they get older. And for older adults, when they get over 50, they can get a booster to avoid that horrible disease. For people who might not know, that's when the old chicken pox kind of resurfaces, comes out the nerves. your body recognizes it, has a fight. That fight goes right across your nerve cells,
Right.
and that can be really painful
Very
and cause a
uncomfortable.
horrible rash.
Chickenpox is bad enough the first time around.
It is bad enough the first time.
Okay, so where can we get immunizations, flu shots and others?
For older people, young adults, and beyond, people can go to their local pharmacy for convenience. That's a great way to go. For children in general, it's part of their well care visits when they're seeing their regular doctor.
Very good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's
You
a
bet.
good
Thanks for
reminder
having me.
all the way around. To get in contact with Pacific Medical, please visit pacmed.org. We'll also post more information on New Day's website. And then up next, an update on the Seattle Arena saga that goes on and on with our expert, King 5 News reporter Chris Daniels. Back after this.